So hey, guess what day it is today? It is our potato day. So we're planting potatoes today. I thought you might like to come along for some fun. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get our ground ready. We're going to get these guys ready. First thing you want to do is make sure you have sprouted potatoes. Can you see that? So this is what we call the eyes, and that is what's going to grow. That's your plant. It's going to pop right out of there. And if you had 2 or 3 other places where you had really strong eyes coming through like that, you could cut this potato and put the flat part facing down and the sprouty part facing up, and you could double this plant into 2. But you can see mine is okay to just, I'm going to plant this whole potato. If you cut them, you have to let them sit overnight. If you do want to cut one, so you just want to carefully, so that when you plant, the cut side will go down and the little sprout will come up. So now what you're going to do is just let this dry overnight and toughen up. So when you do plant it the next day, you'll be good to go. I'm just going to drop that down in the ground like that and let it grow. So let's go. Make sure you plant it in full sun. So you kind of want to get these in the ground in the springtime. They are cool weather crop right here, these potatoes are. So you want to get these guys in the ground. As soon as weather permits, right around the last frost date should be good to go. What you're going to need is a nice loose dirt soil, a nice loose soil. If your soil is compact, you might want to get some compost. We're going to mix in our composted mushroom manure, and then we're going to make our little rows, and then we're going to get these guys in the ground. We're planting them 4 to 6 inches deep and about 12 inches apart. So if you want to hill them, you can go deeper and then fill them 6 inches and then wait until they're growing up, and then you can hill them again, and you can continue that process if you want to hill them. But what we're going to do is, you can see I have a few inches here. So I'm going to mix in that mushroom manure, and I'm going to plant them 4 to 6 inches deep. And then as they get growing up, maybe when they're about 10 inches up, if I want to hill them up a little bit more, I can, just to help keep the moisture in and protect the tubers from the sun. So I have a little story. Oh, don't fall over. A little story about these potatoes over here. These were a happy surprise that I found from, I had my potatoes in my rose bed last year. Well, where my roses are now, but it used to be potatoes. Anyways, a happy surprise, when I planted my tree, I found these potatoes. Let me get these potatoes out. Potatoes. Lovely. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of fun. I'm going to spread this around about 1 inch everywhere. I think. But I don't want to disturb this area because that's where my little bee is living. Okay. I don't want to disturb that area. I have a little native bee growing in there, and potatoes from my rose bed. Now we're just going to mix all that in, and then we're going to plant potatoes. Okay. So you should check with the Old Farmer's Almanac and see when the right time for you to plant is. If you go by the moon phase, or if you just go by the frost phase, they got them both on there. The further north you go, the later the frost date. It's always worth checking out, and it's kind of fun to read the Farmer's Almanac, and they always have lots of good advice. I have a little measuring. This is 4 inches. So I'm going to go down, just going to do that, get this going. Four inches is actually right down here. So we're good. That's between 4 and 6. Okay, so yep, that's perfect. And see the eyes? So that's how I'm going to plant this little guy. This end doesn't really have too much, so that's why I'm just going to go just like that. And there. Same thing. So here's the potatoes that we cut. So I just want to show you how I'm going to place these in the ground. So you're going to take your little sprout, make sure it's facing upright. Doesn't have to be like perfectly, like don't worry about this being flat or on an angle. As long as your little sprout faces upwards, that's perfectly fine. Oops. So you're going to take this little guy, set him like that, and this little guy like that. So anyway, so they're all tucked away now. We're just going to get the water and we're going to give them watering in. So you don't want to overwater your potatoes because they'll rot on you. So check them once a week. Make sure about 1 inch a week, like most things, but just don't overwater them. So keep an eye on that. So we got them all watered in. One more thing to do, the mulch. So I'm just going to get my little snippers. We're going to snip up a little bit of mulch for this bed. Echinacea and lavender. It smells really good. We got all of our little potatoes planted. We have watered them in, and we have cut up our lavender and a little bit of echinacea and mulched it. We got a few little leaves here, and if you're wondering what the twigs are, well, we put a few light branches on there just to deter little critters from going in and to hold some of that mulch in place. So Yukon Gold take about 100 days to mature, and we'll be keeping it weeded and watered once a week. Don't overwater your potatoes because they'll rot, and we'll be checking back in with you as these grow. Once they're fully mature, they start to turn yellow and they start to die back, and you'll know it's time to cut back the water and let them start to dry out before we dig them up. But we'll check back before then. So hey, plant a few potatoes, get your little garden growing, and thanks for popping by, and we'll catch you on the next one. Yukon Gold. Spuds. Yukon Gold spuds. And that's about it. So thanks for catching by. It's coffee time. Is it coffee time? Can't do my woo very good today. Woo! Coffee time. All right, here we go. Rigmarole. And I hope that camera is turned on.